muli. Ako po si Dr. Jennifer Gatiwansi, your program host, at samahan niyo po ako sa loob ng kalahating oras upang pag-usapan natin ang isang napapanahong usapin. Itong buwan po ng Oktubre ay buwan po na ating pong inibigyan ng paalala ang ating mga kababayan tungkol po sa sakit na breast cancer. So, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. At ang tema po sa taong ito is Thrive 365. Because alam po natin ng breast cancer ay isang napakakomplikadong sakit. And every experience is unique. And even with cancer, ang mga taong may cancer ay kaya pa rin naman pong mamuhay ng punong-puno ng pag-asa. And we are here to give awareness about breast cancer, to empower those diagnosed and to thrive on their own terms every day, 365 days in 1 year. So, ano nga po ba ang breast cancer? Ito ay kaliwat kanan na po nating naririnig. Pero ano nga ba? No? Breast cancer is what you call an uncontrolled growth of abnormal cells in the breast. So may mga abnormal po na hindi dapat nandoon. And breast cancer is just one of the many types of cancer na pwedeng tumama hindi lang po sa kababaihan kundi kalalakihan din. Pero breast cancer is the most common cancer among women, not just in the Philippines, but in the world. According to the Philippine Statistics Authority and the Department of Health, no, meron daw pong 3 sa 100 Pilipina na pwede pong na-diagnose ng breast cancer in their lifetime. And the Philippines, ang ating bansa po, had the highest prevalence of breast cancer from among 197 countries noong pong taong 2017. Ito po ay according to the Philippine Obstetrical and Gynecological Society. Nasabi ko po kanina, no? Women are much more likely to develop breast cancer, more than 100 times, but men can also be diagnosed with breast cancer. Alam niyo po ba na 1 in 1,000 males can get breast cancer in their lifetime? This is according to the Philippine Cancer Society. So, paano nga po ba nangyayari uli etong breast cancer? Nasabi natin kanina, no, mga abnormal cells. Our bodies are made up of trillions of cells. Napakarami po neto. And there are what you call healthy cells na lumalaki at nagdi-divide to form new cells, nanganganak as the body needs them. Pagdating po ng panahon, these cells, they also grow old and they die when they are damaged, no? Pero in cancerous cells, itong mga abnormal cells na to, no, they have this what you call abnormal genes, no, that control cell growth and can cause cells to divide out of control. Anak siya ng anak, no, pero wala siyang function. Actually, they are harmful. So they damage the normal cells na meron, no? So the damage or old cells, ang nangyayari, they won't die right away as they should, no? And they turn into what you call malignant or cancerous cells. Ayan. Sometimes we call them tumor. Ayan na yung mga bukol-bukol. And in some cases, cancer cells stay confined to the breast, no? Because we're speaking of breast, no? Pero depende nga yan doon sa organ. No? So, pag sinabing confined lang siya dun sa breast, they are what you call localized breast cancer. But over time, pwedeng etong mga cancer cells na to ay mangapit bahay or they will invade now the bloodstream or the lymphatic system at magbiyabiyahe po yan sa iba't ibang parte ng katawan na tinatawag na nating metastasis o kumalat na. Okay? So, nasabi po natin kanina, no, pwedeng localized. So, sa breast cancer, pwedeng nag-uumpisa lang po ito dun sa mga lobules or sa mga ducts of the breast. Yung mga daluyan ng gatas. Okay? So, the lobules are glands that make breast milk. And the ducts are the one that will carry the milk from the lobules to the nipple. So, pwedeng dun mag-umpisa. Okay? So, pag sinabing yung ducts, yung daluyan, ductal carcinoma. Pag sinabing dun sa pinanggagalingan, the lobules, lobular carcinoma. Okay, so pwedeng doon nag-uumpisa. And there are two main types of breast cancer, yung tinatawag nating non-invasive at yung invasive, na parehong pwedeng ang tamaan yung lobules and the ducts. So, pag sinabi nating non-invasive, doon lang siya. No? Localize siya doon kung saan lang organ, pero pag sinabing invasive, ayan, nangangapit bahay na siya or bumiyabiyahe na siya. At ano po ba ang mga simptomas ng isang taong may breast cancer? So, syempre, ito yung mga ating tatandaan. Okay? So, may bukol because ito nga itong mga abnormal cells that they will divide na patuloy na magdi-divide patadami, mararamdaman po yan as a bukol or swelling in a part of your breast. Kung minsan naman, nag-skin dimpling or puckering, lumulubog yung certain part na may abnormal cells. At kuminsan ay may pananakit, breast or nipple pain. At kuminsan yung mismong nipple ay pumapaon, no? Parang pumapaloob. At kuminsan merong kakaiba sa skin ng iyong breast. Sometimes it can turn red, dry, or may mga flaking siya, parang nagkakaliskis, or parang kumakapal. Yung tawag nila doon, orange peel appearance. Alam niyo yung orange peel, yung parang yung orange na prutas, yung balat, ganun ang magiging itsura niya, which is kumakapal yung balat ng iyong breast. And of course, there could be discharge in your nipple na kunyari hindi ka naman nagpapasuso, biglang may gatas or dugo na lumalabas. Kung hindi naman yung mismong breast mo ang may bukol, pwedeng meron kang mga namamagang kulani under your arm or sa iyong leeg, under your collarbone. So, pwede yan. Okay? At pag ito ay kumalat, pwedeng magkaroon ka rin ng mga pain in your different parts of your body. No, pwedeng it can manifest as abdominal pain kasi tumama na sa atay. Ayun. So, kaya very important na atin pong ine-examine, no, ang ating breast kung may mga certain abnormalities tayong dapat pansinin. So, sino nga po ba ang mga taong at risk para sa breast cancer? Nasabi na natin kanina, mas madalas kababaihan. But there is no substantial proof na other than being a women, wala daw pong substantial proof na may mga certain chemicals like antiperspirant, mga deodorants, yung pagsuot ng tight-fitting bras, birth control pills will increase the risk of breast cancer. Okay? And having a healthy lifestyle also will not guarantee you na maiwasan ng breast cancer. But it is also true that regular exercise, consuming the right food, avoiding alcohol and smoking, and have a good sleep habits could lower your breast cancer risk. But these do not remove the risk altogether. Hanggang ngayon, there's still no known specific cause of breast cancer. Meron lang tayo tinatawag na risk factor. So, sino yung mga taong at high risk na magkaroon ng breast cancer? Nasabi natin kanina, ikaw ay isang babae. At ikaw ay nagkakaedad na. As you get older, no, around 55 pataas, your risk of getting breast cancer are also increasing. You have a personal history of certain breast conditions, no? May mga bukol ka na nung dati pa, or you have certain kind of breast lesions even before. Ayan, so yan yung mga pwede nating mapansin. Okay? So, you have a family history of breast cancer. Yan. So, mataas yan. You have inherited, because you have the inherited genetic mutations. You have an exposure to radiation, no? Especially sa breast area. You have dense breasts. Ayan, so hindi rin maganda pala pag masyadong big boobs. And you started your menstrual period early. Ayan, so age, then umaga ka nag-menses. And maaga din nag-menopause. Ay no, mas late din daw mag-menopause. So at high risk ka. Because you are, mas exposed ka dun sa hormone na nagko-cause ng breast cancer. Maaga ka na-expose dahil maaga nag-mens and then late kang nag-menopause, yung mga yan. Having been exposed to some chemicals or drugs. Ayan. Lack of exercise, sedentary lifestyle, postmenopausal weight gain, drinking alcohol, and taking some kind of hormone replacement therapy after menopause if they are taken down for more than 5 years. So, eto yung mga risk factors. So, paano natin babawasan ang ating risk na magkaroon ng breast cancer kung yun yung mga nasabi natin? So, ito daw yung ating dapat gawin. Avoid or limit alcohol use. Of course, exercise on a regular basis. Have a healthy weight. So, hindi po kay menopause ay hayaan mo ng tumaba ka. Limit the use of birth controls that uses hormones. Dahil yung nga pong hormones mismo ang nagkakos ng increase the risk of breast cancer. Limit also your postmenopausal hormone replacement therapy. Mas maganda mag-exercise ka para ma-minimize yung mga menopausal symptoms mo. And if you are a mother or pregnant ka, breastfeed as much as possible pag ikaw ay nanganak, pag ikaw ay may baby. Kasi mas healthy, no? Mas naliless daw yung incidence of breast cancer if you breastfeed. And it is important to talk with your doctor about your own personal risk of developing breast cancer and how your choices about birth control or having children or not having children, lahat yan i-discuss mo. So, pag iniisip mo, paano kung high risk ka? No, nasabi natin kanina, yung mga iba mayroon silang genetically, no, they are prone. If you have a sibling or parent na may history, uncle, auntie, so talk to your doctor. There are preventive medicines that can include hormonal therapies na pwede mong i-take. Ayan. Meron din yung tinatawag nating mga preventive mastectomy. And one famous for that is Angelina Jolie. Nung namatay yung mami niya ng breast cancer, nagpa-test siya and she is at high risk, so nagpa-preventive mastectomy na siya. Bago pa man siya umabot sa ganon. So pinatanggal na niya. Lagyan na lang niya ng fake boobs. So how are breast cancer diagnosed? So nasabi natin, no, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And one of the best way to detect breast cancer is through this procedure called mammogram. Mammograms are effective in detecting even early stage breast cancer. So it is important to do so every year, especially after you turn 40, 40. But it could also give a false negative result from time to time, depending nga kung malaki yung boobs mo. This is according to the breastcancer.org. So it is also important to do your self-examination monthly. Ayan, before and after menses, gawin mo, kapain mo. Lalo na kung ikaw ay malapit ng magmenopause. No? If tests such as mammogram or ultrasound suggest that breast cells could be cancerous, a doctor will likely recommend another test, yung tinatawag nating biopsy, na kung saan pwede siyang kumuha ng sample tissue dun sa may nakitang bukol at ipadadala sa laboratory, itetest, at pag may nakita, another test is MRI. Titignan yan kung ito ay invasive or non-invasive. At pag nakita, doon na gagawin yung mga treatment options. Ayan. Kasi, ibe-base sila yung treatment options sa cancer staging. So, doon na. So, yung cancer staging is also dependent on the diagnostic test na gagawin sa'yo, starting with the mammogram, ultrasound, biopsy, MRI, or pathologic test, ay mga report. Okay? So, doctors use a system called staging after they diagnose cancer. So, they will describe the size of the cancer, whether lymph nodes or affected or not, kung kumalat na ito sa different parts of the body, at sa mga biopsy, kung minsan tinetest, may mga blood test kung there is a presence or absence of the hormones dahil dun nakadepende yung kanilang management. And then, i-grade nila yan from stage 0 to 4. So, 0, minsan yan yung pinaka-benign. 4, yan na yung kumalat na sa baga or sa atay. And if you or someone you love has been diagnosed with breast cancer, we know how overwhelming it can feel. And for many people, this is unexpected. And especially if you have been diagnosed with breast cancer, kung minsan ang iniisip mo na ano yung survival rate, hanggang kailan ilang taon. So you are not alone, and lots of people are going through this also. But it is important to know that many factors are involved in looking at life expectancy. Okay, yun kaya nga yung team this year's Thrive 365. Nobody knows kung hanggang kailan ka mabubuhay dito sa mundong ito. Ang importante, no, alam mo yung everyday na mission mo everyday. Okay? Kasi alam naman natin, we all know that here on earth our time here is limited. So, we just have to know how to number our days and make the most of it. So, let's go back, no? Yung diagnosis or staging. Pag na-stage, of course, there are several treatment options based din sa staging. So, most common, of course, is sa treatment options is surgery. So, tatanggalin niya mismo yung breast na may cancer as soon as possible. So, ang tawag dito ay lumpectomy kung localized lang, or mastectomy kung medyo involved na yung mga different breast tissues, tatanggalin niya yan. Aside from the surgery, the patient will undergo radiation therapy. Nang gagawin nito, this will destroy cancer cells by directing high energy x-rays at the cancer na pwedeng matamaan yung mga katabing area para paliitin niya, no? Para wag kumalat. Other than that, chemotherapy. The chemotherapy will destroy the cells that are growing or dividing quickly. Kasama na dun, of course, yung cancer cells. Pero yung chemotherapy, sometimes it also affects the healthy cells as a side effect. Ayan. So, syempre may mga side effect. Other form of therapy is the hormonal therapy. This will block or lower hormones that help the hormone receptor positive breast cancer to grow. Kaya, yan, chine-check nila if you are HER2 positive or not. Kasi, syempre kung candidate ka sa hormonal therapy or not. There are also what you call targeted therapy that will interfere with cancer cell growth by targeting cancer cells that have certain proteins or markers in the body that helps cancer grow. Other form of treatment ay mga immunotherapy, uses the body's immune system to find and destroy cancer cells. So yan po yung mga different mode of management. So as we end, sabi natin kanina, if you or someone close to you is battling cancer, lumalaban sa cancer, hindi lang po cancer cells, hindi lang po breast cancer, we all know that dealing with illness is not easy. Napakahirap po yan. No? Dahil hindi lang physical ang ating stress, kundi there's also what you call the emotional stress. And the emotional stress can leave you feeling drained, and the aggressive treatment process may leave you also physically pain. So physically, emotionally, talagang bugbog sarado ka. But know that you are not fighting this battle alone. Your family and your friends may not fully grasp the situation, but someone does. It is God. So rely on His Word, ang kanyang salita na nasa Biblia, marami siyang mga sinabi doon. There's a lot of verses where we can find strength and comfort in the Lord. So, let me just share two of them. Isa po dun yung Matthew chapter 11 verse 28. Ang sabi niya dito, no? Sabi ni Jesus, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." So, nag-o-offer ang ating Panginoon na lumapit tayo sa Kanya, no? Tayong mga may pasan-pasan. Okay? So, ibigay daw natin sa Kanya yon at tayo ibibigyan niya ng kapahingaan. Sabi pa niya sa 1 Peter 5:7, "Cast all your cares on He who loves you." Bigay daw natin sa Kanya dahil siya ang tunay na nagmamahal sa atin. And He will give you peace in this time of trials. No? And alam natin, our journey here on earth is not easy. Especially the road to illness, the road to physical ailments. But you don't have to travel all by yourself. Alamin natin ng ating Panginoon na siyang may gawa ng buong mundo, ay siya rin ay napakamapagmahal. He is so compassionate that He walks with us even through the most difficult times in our lives. Whether our situations turn better or worse, masasandalan po natin ang ating Panginoon. Lean on the everlasting arms of the one who loves and cares for you. He will bring you through this season of difficulty dahil siya po ang ating kalakasan. Sa panglabas na anyo, outwardly, tayo ay nanghihina, hindi lang dahil sa sakit. Pwede din tayong tumanda. Pwede din dahil sa mga iba't ibang sitwasyon na ating dinadaanan, tulad ng pandemic. But inwardly, we are being renewed day by day, and God is as good as ever. If you are a follower of Jesus, remember that God is so good that He vanquished death, no? Nawala, no? Tinalo ng ating Panginoong Jesus ang kamatayan. And we have the living hope that on that glorious morning, pagdating ng panahon, we will be like Jesus and we will be with Him alive in our glorious form. And we can confidently say, "O death, where is your sting? And thanks be to God who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ." At dito po nagtatapos ang ating programa sa araw na to. Nawa sa sandaling panahon ay may ibigay po tayong linaw at mahalagang impormasyon tungkol sa ating paksa sa araw na to sa breast cancer. Aking dalangin ay mamuhay po tayo ng malusog ang ating katawan at ang ating kaisipan. So abangan niyo po muli ako sa susunod na Sabado para po sa ating programang Usapang Pangkalusugan. Dito lamang po sa 1143 DZMR, a proud member of KBP. Ating tandaan ang ating kalusugan ay kayamanang di mapapantayan. Happy weekend po sa ating lahat!